And that's how we create consistency. And that's where the power comes in. Thank you for being here. What is your favorite kind of movie? For me, it's comedy and action films. The stories, the car chases, the visual effects, the face punching, the punchlines that make us laugh. However, I realize something when I watch movies. The hero of the movies is usually the underdog who has to battle the biggest battle's enemy. The hero comes up with a plan, starts the training, gathers all the people or the tools. Now training is complete and it's showtime. New obstacles come up, the hero has to improvise, and the hero wins. He beats the bad guy, he gets the girl, and they live happily ever after. When a movie ends, we feel well, we feel like the hero, right? Like we can be that underdog. Um, we feel like we can follow those footsteps. So we get inspired, motivated, and we go after our goals. However, after a few days, we realize something. The movie only showed us the highlights of the planning, of the training. It seemed simple and fast, but when we start our own journey, it's much harder. It's disappointing, and that becomes the end of our goal. As much as we love movies, we want to love our goals a lot more. Here's the part that movies skip. Of course, movies would become longer and boring, but this crucial part that we don't see, it's part of the whole process. There's no perfect plan, there's some waiting, there's no visible results, there's waiting again, there's lack of motivation, and then there's life, the situations that come up. The list goes on, but you get the idea. I would like to share a core principle. This core principle is engraved on all of us in our mind, and we might not be aware of it, but we all have it in us. The concept is this: baby steps mindset. What can we observe from this? The baby has only one thing in his mind: doing his best. He's not at all concerned about being the best walker in the world or being the best among his friends. He has no expectations about when he will be able to walk. Baby is only focused on that task at that moment in time. Then he goes back to eating, to sleeping, to pooping. He's not putting a lot of pressure on himself. Baby is not afraid to show how he sucks at walking. On the contrary, he feels good with every clumsy step, even when it might not look great from the outside. This might be a simple concept, and of course, baby doesn't have to worry about work, schools, family, social life, temptations, distractions, and it will require more effort. But when we apply the following concepts, everything can become more manageable. Um, Grab a notebook As I said, my goal with these videos are for us to really write down everything. I will create a video explaining more in depth, but please grab notebook and pen and just write down the different things that we talk about here. Uh, because at the end of the day, they're for yourself. Um, Number one, the goal must be clear. What is your intention for achieving this goal? This will require self reflection, an open mind, and being honest with yourself. What is the true purpose of you following this goal? And adjust it as you need it, right? Like you want to make sure that you are honest and it's really meaningful for you and for your life. You're doing something that you truly care for, not something that is supposed to be done or that that we need to do it. It's just something that you truly have a fire for. Also, write down any possible challenges that you might encounter. Write them down. This is a foundation. This is understanding what are the common things that you might be against. And also, there's, of course, will be things that are unexpected, but at least we know the ground rules of what we're fighting for. The second part of achieving a goal is that there's a lot of layers to it, right? There's the learning, there's the practicing, there's the overcoming obstacles, and I just want to make sure that we are recording. Right, so I was saying the goal has a lot of layers, right? So we have to study, we have to learn, we have to practice, we have to overcome things that we don't know. So this is where the second concept comes in. Focus on one thing, a single thing, nothing else. If it's learning, focus only on learning one chapter. If it's practicing, practice on a single movement, a single task. Make that your goal. One thing only. Forget about the rest for today, for this moment, when you're gonna practice, when you're gonna learn. Just focus on that task, right? Let's use this analogy. A goal is like building a house. So you have your foundation, and now you want to put the walls, and these walls require bricks. You are not concerned about how many bricks you have right now. You just take the one brick that you need to work on for today, for this moment, and you are going to intentionally focus all your energy in placing that brick properly. That's it. Just make sure that it's placed with attention and dedication. Okay, so now moving to the third part. This is a rough one, so be ready. The third part is between what we want, what our goal is, and where we are right now, based to in comparison to that goal, right? There's a gap. At this point, I'm gonna ask you. We can ask ourselves, like, who is this person or these people that have accomplished what we want, and see where you are in that spectrum in comparison, right? This is what we call the gap, right? The distance between where you are and where you want to go. Now, once we see that distance, we realize that honestly we suck at what we do. We have no idea what we're doing, or we're really early on the stages. That is the gap. And here's where I want to bring awareness and mindfulness. Embrace the gap, embrace it, right? Be okay doing crappy work at first, doing it wrong, taking too long, feeling out of place. Close your eyes for one moment and really feel the frustration, the not seeing the results that you want. Feel that for one moment because you're gonna have to get used to that. We want to have the feeling of like, oh, I accomplished it. I feel empowered. But the work comes from feeling frustrated, feeling slow, feeling not capable even, right? That is the what we need to embrace. Those feelings of failure are steps towards closing the gap. Also, during the gap, there's of course there's waiting periods with no visible results. During the gap, be kind with yourself. We are creators. We can close the gap. There's no rush. And our fourth concept is this: visualize your goal. What is it? So close your eyes, visualize your goal. Okay, now forget about it. And you might think, well, that makes no sense. If I want this goal, why would I forget about it? Let's call our goal the output. And as important as the output is also what creates a lot of pressure on ourselves. We can get fixated on seeing the results, right, of our efforts. But as we have established, that will take time. Therefore, therefore, obsessing over the outcome is counterproductive. The key for us now is to fully focus on the input. The input is what we actually do, the actions that we take, what we create right in this moment, in this session. Because it's about being a student at our goal and enjoying the process of being a student and a beginner. As long as you keep putting on the work every day, those steps, the input will become the most enjoyable part. And the last segment on our baby step mindset is break the input into tiny pieces. We can break the input in such small pieces that we can feel very confident. We know for sure we can handle that. Start with two segments, right? The task, what is the action, and for how long you are going to do this task and when. Here are a few examples that I did on myself as I was kind of learning this mindset. I wanted to start reading this book, right? And it was just hard for me to get into the habit, so I decided to have read a page every day before going to bed, a single page. That's it. And I was able to accomplish that, right? A page seems reasonable for me. When I started my fitness journey, I went to the gym for 15 minutes. And at the beginning, I honestly went to kind of understand where the weights were, where the different segments of the gym, how was the layout. So I didn't feel so lost when I went, right? I wanted to feel like I knew where I was walking. Because at that moment, when you're beginning, you feel like everybody's looking at you. So giving us those basic tasks of something manageable, right? So for me, if the gym was 15 minutes, I could go in. Oh, I see the weights. I go. I do some weights. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I know the weights are there now. So the next time that I go, that area has been conquered by my subconscious mind, right? I understand where it is and who is around the area and what I can do. And so I did it for 15 minutes for a long time, honestly, until I also learned the whole process of, taking care of your body. And meditation was something important for me, and I think it's for everybody, so I would encourage you to start with this one too. But I started with 2 minutes. I couldn't keep my mind quiet, but that's what we think that meditating is at the beginning. So I put myself a timer, 2 minutes, sat down, did nothing, and that's it. And you can feel the difference that it starts making once 2 minutes feel like a short time, but at the beginning feels like a long time. So that's the whole thing, right? So that's why we want to break the input into the little pieces, something that you feel very comfortable doing every day. So please make sure you write that down. Like, what is the task, right? What is the task? What is the duration? And how often you're making this happen. And I know this feels silly, but that's the whole point, to make it so easy, so simple, and so small that we can build confidence completing them every day. And that's how we create consistency. And that's where the power comes in. From doing simple tasks every day, and that creates momentum, and that is exponential growth. Once many simple tasks become easy, the bigger tasks become attainable. Write them down, be clear, be specific, and stick to them. Remember, you are making them so simple that you can feel confident about completing them. So be honest. It's only you versus you. That's it. Be honest and stick to it. I want to close with this. Most of us learn how to walk and can remember or think about it. Think about that at all. Let's not take for granted the greatness of a baby step mindset. We did it before when we were learning to walk. We can do it again with our current goal. We can also use this mindset to get away from bad habits, and we will explore more on that topic, but the principle applies. Absorb this way of seeing it. It's not easy, it's not fast, but we can make it simple and enjoyable. I want us to feel aligned with our purpose, get our energy focused on our goal. If our heart is calling for a goal, we can make it happen. And every step on this path will have a greater impact on many areas of our lives that we can only see once we look back at all our patience and hard work. Thank you for watching. I really encourage you to write this down and start taking action. Let us know how you are breaking your goal into baby steps with the mindset, with the baby step mindset. Build yourself, build your future, build your legacy.